Welcome back. We're so glad to have you back with us. Look, I have my next guest with me, and this lady is just phenomenal. This is Elba Rocha, and she is the president of Nye County Quilters. She's also the group leader for Quilts of Valor Foundation. And we're going to learn a lot about the Quilts of Valor. We're going to learn about what's going on and why they do these quilts. And sometime during the program, I'll tell you about my quilt that I received from them. And it is quite an honor. But we'll talk about that later. The first thing we want to do is welcome Elba to the show. So, Elba, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, this is something that I've wanted to do for such a long time. And to have you on the show to tell the people all about the Quilts of Valor, I think it is so important. And just the fact that you're wearing that on your shirt, Quilts of Valor and Quilts of Valor Foundation.
Correct.
This is, we can't say enough. What is the Quilts of Valor? Let's talk about that first.
Quilts of Valor is a foundation, is a non-profit organization, and it was started in 2003 by a Blue Star mom, Catherine Roberts.
Now, what is a Blue Star mom?
It's one of the categories that I related to the military.
The Blue Star, for those that don't know, it means that somebody is serving on active duty.
Correct.
Gold Star is when someone was killed on active duty.
And Catherine's son was deployed to Iraq.
Okay.
And that's why she thought that it was important for her to create a group where she could start awarding and recognizing the sacrifice that all the members of the military do when they go on deployment.
Okay.
In fact, the mission of the Quilts of Valor Foundation is to cover all servicemen and veterans with comforting and healing quilts of valor.
I love that.
To recognize and to thank them for their service.
Okay, and I want to, just for those people out there that are politically correct, when she said servicemen, she meant servicemen and servicewomen. Servicemen is just the term we use for all military people.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So anybody qualifies to receive a Quilt of Valor. So I saw that our website was already up on the screen. You can go online and you can go to qovf.org and put in your request there. Then the foundation sends it back to the group that is closest to the person's residence.
Okay.
And that group is the one that will make the quilt for the person who requested it.
So what you're saying is no matter where you are in the country, you can request a quilt for any person that served in the military.
Correct, because even though the foundation got started in in Delaware, with the time it expanded and it's all over the country nowadays.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes, and we have groups everywhere within the same state. So they will distribute those requests to go to the closest group where the person lives so that they can award that quilt.
Okay, and I know you said nonprofit, but once they put in their application, what's the cost to the veteran?
Zero.
Zero?
They don't pay a dime.
Wow.
Absolutely zero. It's a free recognition for their service. We want to say thank you to them.
These quilters are wonderful people, and just to be able to say that they want to make a quilt for everybody that served our country, this is just phenomenal.
It is.
And at no cost to the veteran or the veteran's family, but it's something that they do. So I have to ask the question, what is your real mission?
Our mission is to make as many quilts as possible.
Okay.
Because locally here, we are Nye County Valor Quilters.
Okay.
So We award quilts throughout the state.
Okay.
We even have members in Amargosa, for example. They make their quilts and they award them right there.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
yes, and in July we're expanding our mission and we're going to a veteran social fair in Tonopah.
Wow.
It's going to
Okay.
take place on July 27th.
Okay.
It will be there from 10 to 3, and we try to attend as many events as possible because we are trying to spread the word to make people comfortable and aware of what we do.
Okay. Now, that sounds good. You've talked about the Nye County quilters, Nye County Valor quilters.
Correct.
And tell me more about that.
Well, we are a very new group.
Okay.
Our founder is Denise Curl. You know
Okay.
her very well. She
Yes.
was a veteran herself.
Yes.
And she formally started the group in 2016.
Okay.
So we've been working for barely 4 years. And when she started, she only had 25 members.
Okay.
That first year, these ladies made 90 quilts to award in that 1 year.
Wow.
Yes, that's a lot of work. And we are the official group representing the Quilts of Valor Foundation here in Nye County.
Okay.
We award all our quilts on their behalf, even though we are an independent group based here in Pahrump in Nye County. We are the foundation's representatives.
How many members do you have?
Actually, we have 52 members.
Okay.
We grew a lot. We've been working very hard because, as you know, Dr. Waters, I heard that we have about 9,000 veterans right here in Pahrump.
That's a good number.
So we have a lot to work, a lot to do. And we are all volunteers.
Okay.
We don't get paid for anything. We dedicate our time to sew and quilt those items for our veterans. And we get together once a month. We have a formal meeting
Okay.
on the third Tuesday of the month. Everybody is welcome to attend if they want to see what else you need to find out about our group. And
they can call you if they're interested?
absolutely. My phone number was on the screen as well, I believe, 702-336-8918.
Okay.
Or they can email us at nyecountyvalorquilters@gmail.com.
Okay.
Any information that you send us, it's responded to you right away. And we can do that at any time. Anybody is welcome to find out more about us and join us because we're always in desperate need of members. People who sew and quilt. We're never enough to do as much as we have to.
I was going to ask, are you looking for volunteers? And obviously you are.
We definitely are.
And if anybody would like to donate to this cause, what should they do?
Well, they can also contact us either
Okay.
via email or phone. And we do not have any financial support from the foundation.
Okay.
So we basically live on donations that the community gives us. And we are also thinking about ideas to support ourselves. We have come up with several fundraisers.
Okay.
We're actually making bags, patriotic and general bags that people can get from us, and they are all donations because all the proceeds go to the use of that money to buy fabric to make our quilts.
If somebody wanted to make a donation to you, and this is all tax deductible, obviously.
Absolutely.
If they want to write a check, who do they make the check out to, and how do they get it to you?
They can write a check to Nye County Valor Quilters,
Okay.
or to the Quilts of Valor Foundation.
Okay.
If they do that, they need to put on the memo line that it's supposed to be applied to our Nye County Valor Quilters.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if the foundation doesn't know, it goes to their general fund and we
Absolutely.
don't get anything. With that money that we get, I always look out for good deals with fabric, and we try to buy as many yards as we can.
Okay.
And for that effect, we also meet on the first Tuesday of each month.
Okay.
We always meet at the Root Center at 9 o'clock. And on the first Tuesday, we have our fabric and demonstration day, where our members come and they can look for fabric that they need. If they have patterns, we help them decide what fabrics they need, and they take as much as they need for free.
And that's at the Bob Rood Community Center.
Bob Rood Community Center.
Okay.
That is for all our members, and whoever wants to become a member will get that benefit as well.
Okay. Well, we know that you're looking for volunteers. We know that you can accept donations.
Absolutely.
And you're still doing all of this for all of the veterans that are here in Nye County.
We are, and we are very proud of the work we do.
You brought a sample
Yes.
quilt. Has that been on the screen yet? Can he put that on the screen?
I don't know.
If that's up, then we'll let the people see exactly what the quilt looks like.
Okay.
And once they see that, I have to ask the question, that's the quilt that we have as a sample that's here right now?
Correct.
And people can look at that quilt. Now, are all the quilts just like this?
They are all unique.
They're all unique.
All unique. I don't think we have two quilts that look the same.
Okay.
They might be similar, but the way we use the fabric, the different patterns we have, make every single quilt a unique product of what we do.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
That is beautiful.
Thank you. All our volunteers are nonstop, and they are extremely creative.
Okay. Look, we're running out of time for this session, as I knew we would, and we have a lot more to talk about when we talk about the Quilts of Valor, and also who can receive the quilts, what they look like. Elba just mentioned that all the quilts are unique. They're all different, and I'll tell you more about mine at the same time. But I really want to thank Elba for being here, and we want you to come back and join us in the next session because we have so much to talk about. Welcome back, and this is our final session, and we still have Elba Rocha. She's the president of Nye County Quilters and the group leader for Quilts of Valor Foundation. And we've talked so much in the previous session about what's going on and how it's doing and all the other things. If you have any questions about anything with the Quilts of Valor, please give her a call. Let her know, look, I'm interested in getting a quilt for my spouse, my friend, my cousin, whatever it is, anybody that served. They don't have to have served during wartime. If they served our country, they'd like to be recognized. And this is what it's all about. So, Elba, I do have some more questions for you. As how can someone request a quilt?
The process is very simple.
Okay.
We have hard copies, applications that people may find around town. We have several places where we drop them off, as well as our brochures. This is all the information that you can get from different areas, places in town that we have them. And the more actual processes go online, and you can go to either of our websites and you click on how to request a quilt.
Okay.
And from there you go, fill out very simple information questions and hit the submit button. And as soon as you get the number of requests back, I would suggest that you take down that number so that we can keep track.
Okay.
Whatever group gets it can keep track of your request.
So once you do it online, and it could be for, say, a relative in Kansas City, then it's going to go to a place near Kansas City.
Correct.
But for everyone here in Nye County, you'll get that.
It comes back to us, absolutely. You can mail our forms to our P.O. Box. It's number 3632, Pahrump, Nevada, and the zip code 89041.
Okay.
Okay?
Why don't you repeat that one time, just
Sure.
in case they're writing that down?
It's P.O. Box 3632, Pahrump, Nevada, 89061.
041.
Oh, sorry, 041. And if you go online, qovf.org.
Okay. So now you know how to request a quilt for yourself, a friend, a spouse, or anybody else. And it's so easily done. When my wife did it, it was very easily. And she requested one for me. We'll talk about that shortly.
Okay.
How long does it take to receive a quilt?
That's the main challenge for us because the process usually takes between 6 and 12 months.
Okay.
And we asked of people to be patient.
Be patient.
However, whenever there is a World War I veteran or somebody whose health is in jeopardy, declining situations, we commit to award those quilts right away. And we have done several times this process.
That sounds great.
No matter whether they submitted last week, they go to the top of the list and they get their quilts in a week or so.
We don't have any World War I veterans left, but we do have some World War II veterans. And all the World War II veterans that I know have received quilts.
Yes.
But now we're looking at Korean War veterans, so if you know any of those, be sure to get their names in to Elba so they can get their quilt.
Please, that's the only way we know we need the help of the community because sometimes we are not aware and people in the community know them. So as soon as we get that request, we start working on it right away.
Okay. And then after that, then the Vietnam veterans will come in. And then Gulf War and so on.
Right. In fact, this last award ceremony that we had on June 29th, we awarded veterans from the Second World War and Korean War.
Excellent. Okay.
We thought that they needed priority.
Absolutely.
So it was a very touchy ceremony.
Yes. They always are. Now I can say something about mine. When I received mine, I did not know what to expect. Denise was in charge of the program, and she told me, she said, I think you'll enjoy it. And I'm thinking, I'm going to go in, they'll hand me a quilt, and I'll sit down, and they'll say some nice words, and then we'll leave. That is not the way the ceremonies go at all.
No, it's not.
And if you haven't been to one, when is your next one? In November?
Our next one is going to be the first Saturday in November.
Okay.
And we just had one on Saturday, the 29th of June.
Right. But I just want to say that if you attend any of these ceremonies, be prepared. Take some tissue, because this is really a tearjerker. It really is. To hear what the veterans went through, just the fact that they have somebody that care so much that they're giving them a quilt, and they wrap us in our quilts. The ladies who actually make them, and now men who actually make them, will wrap us in our quilts, and it's hard not to be emotional when that happens, because again, they're just saying thank you for your service.
That's exactly what we do. We thank them for their service, and it's an honor for us to be able to do that. We are very grateful that we have this opportunity to work together and to honor our veterans. Absolutely.
There was one World War II veteran, a woman, her name was Pauline.
Yes.
And we also had her story in the Prompt Life magazine.
Yes.
But it was just the idea that she said so many times people would say thank you for your service. And she said she was always looking for a response. And her response after they said that was, it was my honor to serve.
Oh,
And I think all veterans feel that way, that it was our honor to serve our country.
yes.
So that's why we did what we did. That's why we do what we do today.
And we are very proud that all of our quilts are unique.
Yes.
There's no way that we have two that are copied from each other. They are all very unique, and our members work very hard. It takes about 40 to 60 hours to make a quilt, which makes it 2-3 months sometimes.
Okay.
So it's a lot of work and done with a lot of love.
A lot of love.
Love.
And you know, when I looked at mine, when Denise held my quilt up, and my quilt has a Purple Heart in it because she says she was looking for a Purple Heart recipient. And so she awarded me the quilt, and like I said, it was very, very emotional because in that it talked about my time, and it didn't say exactly when I received the Purple Heart, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. And to be receiving a quilt for that, and the thanks, like I said, very emotional. But no two quilts are alike, and Elba has said that several times. This is what it's all about. They're unique. You have your own quilt, and it's yours. It's for you. Nobody else. It's for you.
And very important, every quilt is meant to be used, not to be put away so that they don't get dirty.
Okay.
Okay, we always tell our recipients that they have to use their quilts.
And I have to say that mine right now is on the back of my sofa in my living room. Everybody that comes to my home has to look at that quilt. And I show it to them, I hold it up, and then I tell them the story of how I felt when I received it. So it's going to be used. So get in your applications. Let them know way in advance, because it does take a while to do it.
It does take
like
a
you
while.
said, it takes a long time, takes a lot of work, and also takes a lot of money. So in the first session, we talked about the fact that Elba is still looking for volunteers to work with her, and you can contact her and say, I want to be a volunteer. If you want to make a donation, that's why she gave you the fact you can make out checks to them. They're tax deductible, and this is just a fantastic way of not only helping Elba help veterans, but you yourself would be helping veterans.
Correct. And if I may add something else,
Yes.
we recently became a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
We are fully recognized for the Internal Revenue Service, and we are public. That means that people can go select our group as a nonprofit organization,
Okay.
and they can make donations.
Excellent.
And Amazon is the very popular company nowadays. They have their program, Amazon Smile, where you can go register. It's a one-time registration, and every time people go purchase something from them, a part of the proceeds goes to us.
Excellent.
So we're very excited.
Any way we can get donations for the Quilts of Valor, we'd like to do, because, again, they do such valuable work. It is so important. And when I first met Elba, and she was taking over the local Quilts of Valor, she didn't know what she was getting involved in. She thought it was just going to be easy, and I know that's what Denise told you, because Denise made it look easy. But with all the work behind the scenes, and you're involved in all of that.
And it's worth every single minute of it.
Excellent.
I went back to a full-time job thinking that I was retired and I was going to enjoy life. Well, I enjoy it, doing a lot of work that I really love.
That's what it's all about.
I really love, absolutely.
That's what retired life is all about anyway.
Yeah.
Again, you just had the ceremony on June 29th, and that was a fantastic ceremony. And you're having your next one the first Saturday in November.
Yes, we do have 3 ceremonies a year.
Okay.
One the first weekend, the first Saturday in March.
March.
Then we have one in June or July.
Okay.
And then our last one is in November.
Okay.
And we always try to award at least 30 quilts.
30 quilts every session.
Correct.
This is fantastic.
Yes.
And where do you have these ceremonies?
Presently, we have them at the Valley Electric Conference Room
Okay.
on 372.
The conference center there, the new conference center?
Correct.
Okay.
And I have to say Valley Electric has been great for us, a great partner. They are very helpful. They do everything we need, and they basically give us the use of the room, so we can't say anything.
Look, this is all about the Quilts of Valor. This
It
is
is.
all about helping veterans. And Elba, I just want to say thank you for being here today, and thank you for letting our audience know that the Quilts of Valor is alive and well. They're doing so much for our veterans. And go ahead and get those applications out and come back and see us next show. Thank you.